Okay, trying to do a test ride on the new Ducati Scrambler Nightshift. So this is how the dash looks like. Going to fire it up. Sounds good because it has got a Terminoni exhaust. So this one is a little different, as you can see from the handlebars. It's more of a cafe racer kind of riding style. Burble which is coming out from the exhaust sounds really good. This one is fitted with an additional quick shifter. Can I stand up? Yeah, I can stand up, but is it that confidence inspiring when you stand up? Not really. The exhaust sounds really good. So there are three functional differences on this motorcycle compared to the Icon which I reviewed last week. The first one is the straight handlebar. Icon has got more of an elevated handlebar, and it is more suited for people who want an upright riding position. This one has got more of a inclined riding position, and the quick shifter works perfectly. I didn't use the clutch this time, but it works perfectly. I think when it is over 3000 RPM. Now let's come back to the riding position on this one. If you are a rider which favors more of a cafe racer kind of riding style, this one will fit perfectly for you. So am I a big fan of the mirrors? I'm not a big fan of the mirrors which is mounted towards the end of the handlebars. I like more of a traditional mirror, but there are people who tend to like this mirror setup, and if you're that kind of person, you would like the setup. And this comes in as stock. The flatter handlebar comes in as standard, the mirror comes in as standard. That's the first and the second functional difference between the Icon which I reviewed last time. Yes, the quick shifter works perfectly anywhere above 4000 RPM. Okay, the third functional difference on this one is that this has got an add-on quick shifter attached to it. The only model which comes in with quick shifter attached as standard is the full throttle. It has got a Terminoni exhaust. It is an add-on. The brake is absolutely good. Even if it's a single disc, the brake does the job. What was I talking about? Yeah, the Terminoni exhaust. The Terminoni exhaust on this one is an add-on. So when you are buying the Nightshift as stock, it does not come with the Terminoni exhaust. The only model which comes with the Terminoni exhaust is the full throttle. But just like this model, you can add on. You can also add on the skid plate at the bottom of it if you like. I find it a little difficult to see the things behind on this mirror setup, and that is the reason why I said that I like the more traditional mirrors, even if that does not look as cool as this one. I'm going to pull over. Easy to turn. Is it playful like the other Scrambler? Is it okay to do? Yeah, I think it is absolutely okay. The quick shifter works perfectly okay on this one, and I have got no complaints whatsoever. The more inclined cafe racer inspired handlebars. Suits for somebody who is into that, but for me, I like more of a full throttle, which is somewhere in between this one and Icon. The quick shifter, which is an add-on. The Terminoni exhaust, it's an add-on. Those are the two things which is fitted extra to this motorcycle. I don't feel perfectly okay in standing up and riding this motorcycle, primarily because of the position of the handlebar. But if you have an Icon, it's perfectly okay. You can stand up and ride. The Icon fits perfectly that bill. The aesthetic differences on this one and the other models, will come to that in a little bit once I'm done with the test ride. The clutch is very light, and this one has got a ride-by-wire setup compared to the previous model, so the throttle response is more smooth. The throttle response is more even. The shock, the engine, the brakes, the ground clearance, everything is exactly the same as the Icon. The brakes is exactly the same, the engine is exactly the same, the shock is exactly the same. So there is no difference at all as far as the Nightshift is concerned when compared to Icon as well as full throttle. Okay, we're going to return the motorcycle. As you can see, it's in the Ducati PJ showroom. So let's start the walk around on detailed specs on the Scrambler Nightshift. It's got an L-twin engine, 803cc air-cooled engine, and it produces around 73 horsepower and 65 Newton meters of torque. It's got tubular steel trellis frame, signature of Ducati. This one has got an upgraded brake lever. The original one on this one looks a little more feeble, so this is an upgrade on this specific motorcycle. The Terminoni exhaust is an upgrade too, or it's considered as an add-on onto this motorcycle. It does not come in as standard, so this is an add-on for this motorcycle. The other thing which you can tend to have is a skid plate, aluminum skid plate onto this one. This model does not only have the skid plate, so that can be added as an add-on. The full throttle comes with a skid plate. And moving on here, 41mm non-adjustable Kayaba forks with 150mm of travel. The mudguard is a little short compared to the Icon, but that's just on the looks department. Now here it is the 18-inch rims, and you can see that it's got spoke wheels. On the full throttle as well as the Icon, it comes with the cast wheels. Mostly an aesthetic appeal on this motorcycle. The tires on all the Scramblers is the same. It is a Pirelli MT60 RS tires. So this is how the turn signals looks like in the full throttle as well as the Nightshift. It's different compared to the Icon. It's LED too. There are some people who tend to like this look compared to the traditional look on the Scrambler Icon. This is the DRL, and it has got an LED light inside too. Again, on this side, same 41mm upside down Kayaba forks with no adjustability, 150mm of travel, 330mm Brembo single disc, Brembo radially mounted 4-piston caliper, cornering ABS unit. Here is the oil cooler. That's where it is set up. Again, on this side, I want to show you there is an additional quick shifter accessory which is added. This is the quick shifter accessory. That's an add-on on this specific motorcycle. The only model which comes with the quick shifter is full throttle. So for this specific model, this is an add-on. Engine, we already talked about it, air cooled, no heat coming from the engine when you are on the move, but if you are stationary there is some amount of heat coming from the engine, but that's absolutely okay. Chain drive, 15 sprockets in the front, 42 sprockets at the rear, double-sided swing arm, 17-inch wheels, again it's spoke wheels, and the wheels is wrapped around by Pirelli 60 MTRS tires. Coming back over here, that's how the rear looks like on the Nightshift. The LEDs at the back and the turn signals, which is different from the Icon. There are people who tend to love this look compared to the others, but it's a very personal choice whether you like this style of indicators or the ones which is there on Icon. At the rear, it's got a 245mm single disc, single piston Brembo caliper with cornering ABS. We already talked about the spoke wheels. It's an aesthetic appeal. It provides a better look on this motorcycle compared to the other one. Let's talk about the shock. On this one, it's a Kayab it's got 150mm of travel. It's got preload adjustability only on this one. And those are the things which I would like to call out on the Nightshift. This color is what Ducati calls as a nebula blue, that comes in as standard on the Nightshift. The brown seed color comes in as standard on the Nightshift. So from the looks department, it looks a lot better compared to the Icon. There is this side plate which covers most of the shock. You cannot see the shock over here, but if you're in the Icon, you can tend to see the shock. It's again a personal choice whether you like to have the shock seen or covered. That's pretty much it. We already talked about the flatter handlebars as well as the side mounted mirrors. On this one, again, it's a personal choice. You like this look compared to the other one. Let's turn on the dash on this one. And you can see that it is in the sport mode. I'm not going to get into the detail of configuring the dash. So now you can see that I'm in the road riding mode. I can easily change it to the sport riding mode. This is how I change it to the sport riding mode. And there you go, change the riding mode. Tend to choose the power, Ducati traction control, quick shifter, which is enabled as an add-on here. You can adjust that too. Traction control, there is 4 levels of traction control. There is wet, which is the most intrusive, and the level 4. And you can see that when I selected the 4, the wet is highlighted, and I come down, it's on the 3, 2, 1 is in the performance, and I can even turn off the traction control if I want to. I'm going to exit out. The power, there are 2 levels of power: high, which is equal to the dynamic delivery of power, and medium, which is equivalent to the smooth delivery of power. Those are the only two choices which you have on the power. And let's go back. This is a quick navigation through the dash and the menu settings. Hopefully this video will help out someone out there. If you have any questions on the Scrambler, please let me know. If you have a specific model of Ducati or any other motorcycle which you like me to do similar reviews, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to do this. As always, everybody, thank you for watching.